One of the biggest questions we get all year is when can I prune my shrubs? If you've got a shrub that's bigger than you want it to be, that's looking erratic, or just needs to be pared down a little bit or made a little more uniform, right now is likely the time that you need to do it, with a few exceptions. So let's talk about why. The ticket here, if you're going to be pruning back a shrub pretty significantly, you want it to rebound and look pretty as fast as possible. So if you were to cut back a shrub going into winter time, you're going to be making it look a little more bald or sparse, and then it's going to look that way all winter long. Now if you cut back your shrubs right now, as soon as it warms up, they're going to have a nice flush of new growth and they're going to start looking good almost immediately. So things like waxleaf ligustrum, dwarf Burford hollies, dwarf yaupons, and things like that, if you want to cut them back or reshape them, I recommend doing that right now. There are some exceptions though, so things that are spring blooming shrubs such as your Indian hawthorns, you do not want to cut back right now. Indian hawthorns have already formed their buds for the year, and so if you go in and shear your Indian hawthorns at this time, you won't get any flowers. Now let's talk about roses for a second, because I can't talk about pruning shrubs without mentioning roses. So with roses, we actually recommend most roses being cut back in February. Why is that? Roses, whenever they're cut back, will stimulate new growth. Roses bloom on new growth, so by cutting them back in February or early March at the latest, you'll actually catch them before they start putting out lots of new growth, and then it will stimulate a fresh round of blooms and really pretty growth on your roses. You don't want to cut back roses in the fall, because as soon as we get a few warm days in winter, they will begin to vigorously grow, and then when the cold weather comes in winter, you can actually get damage to your rose plants. Now, I'm not advocating that every shrub that you have around your house needs to be a perfectly groomed ball or a perfectly square, because that may not be the style of your landscaping, and it really is a lot of work to maintain that. However, by coming in early February or March in the early spring and giving your plants a nice reshaping, a lot of times that can be enough for the entire rest of the year to keep your shrubs looking thick and full and healthy.